My dad asked, proud of what he was doing. How can you do this to me? You want me to marry her? That gold digger? How the fuck can you trust that asshole? I shouted at him. Mind your words, young man. She is a wonderful child. I've known her for almost 8 years and she will be really good for you, he tried to convince me. You fail to see what a person really is. I said and threw the file back on the table with a snap. Take your time, son. But remember, if you do sign the papers, I promise that you can take over entirely the next day, and if you don't, you lose the half of what you have to James. He said and went out, closing the door behind him. I closed my eyes for a second to control my fury, but it didn't work. Picking up the glass from the table, I threw it on the wall, breaking it into pieces. I never thought that James could go to this extent, but then how can I forget he is the biggest ass I ever met. He has made a foolproof plan. Either I marry his little gold digger and destroy my life, or he gets the half of my company. I could have easily given up the half of it. After all, I am capable of building it again and reaching the top, but giving it away to that asshole, never. Stepping out of Dad's office, I went directly to the gym. Taking off my shirt, I started to punch the punching bag. That bloody man. He turned my dad against me. He knows Dad trusts him with everything and he played this game. I'll make him pay for it. But if it takes to marry that irritating human to save my company from her jerk of a father, I will. Returning back to my father's office, I picked up the file and went out of it. Dad saw me and stopped me by saying, I hope you'll sign them once you get back from that Walters case, isn't it? Yes, I won't let him take what's mine, I declared, my tone deadly. Oh, very well. I'll sign them after you do, and then you can go and talk to James about you and Lahaina and get it signed by him too. Full stop. I turned to leave again, but he stopped me yet again. And don't forget about the ball. I've asked Lahaina to be there. Crap. Caroline will be there too. I asked her to come. She doesn't deserve all this shit. She is too innocent. Too gullible. I know she likes me, and hurting her was the last thing I wanted to do right now. But I'll have to. My company is at stake and I'll get it no matter what I have to do. Just then her face flashed in front of me, and anger consumed me totally. I was in such a fury that I wanted to kill someone. If it was anyone other than Dad, he would have been on his journey to hell by now. I didn't say anything but just nodded, my eyes on fire due to the anger I felt. I looked at my father and he was smirking, a smirk of triumph. Hey lovely people, after the last chapter Aaron's life was in danger. My readers wanted to kill him, so I thought to save him a bit. Don't kill him guys, he's already in deep shit. So, still hate Aaron? If you have any confusion, what you have to do is just ask. Anyway, don't forget to vote, comment and share. Love you guys and thank you for your support. This book crossed 2.5k reads and 200 plus votes. Just because of you all. Lots and lots of love. A trademark sign. Author's note. At first, sorry that this is not a chapter and just a stupid author's note, but I wanted to put it here. Guys, you all are awesome, and believe me, I mean it when I'm saying this. Coming back after a busy, hectic and tiring day from school and seeing your votes and comments cheers me up and makes my day. A big thank you, lovely readers. I forgot to ask this in the last chapter, so doing it now. Do you want a chapter on Aaron's POV for the ball, or should I skip it and just continue with the story? PLZ, tell me, because I'm really confused on this. Blooming Rose 18. Chapter 14. Irritated as hell. My flight landed at 6 p.m. sharp. I thanked my pilot, Mark, and went back to my penthouse. It's been hell of a week, especially for my employees. I have been too hard on them since the day I talked to Dad. I've already fired almost 50 of them and the rest are flooded with work. Carter informed me that he heard some of them talking to each other about the amount of work I'm giving them, but none had the courage to come up to me. Good for them. That Walter has already been taken care of. He won't be able to find a new job in this whole continent, and of course none of the places where I have my branches. I told Carter about the contract Dad presented to me because I didn't wanted any more problems in it. He said he has taken care of everything and I should sign it by today. He already made Dad sign it, so I'm planning to do it after the ball. In that case, I'll be taking over tomorrow and that asshole won't get a penny of mine. Reaching the penthouse, I took a quick shower and changed into a tux that I'll be wearing tonight. That ass and his bloody daughter must be there waiting for me, but the only reason I want to go is because Caroline. She'll be there and I'll be able to see her, though not talk to her or anything, but at least just see her beautiful face. After gelling my hair and putting on my coat, I moved down to my car. The chauffeur opened the door and I slid inside. Taking a deep breath, I ordered him to drive. This is gonna be fucking irritating. I walked inside looking around the place to find the girl who has haunted my dreams since the day I met her, but it seemed she has yet to arrive. I was about to move towards the bar when my father's voice stopped me from behind. "There he is," he said to someone whom I assumed to be his bastard best friend. I closed my eyes for a split second, in order to control myself. "No, Aaron, you can't just turn around and slice that asshole's head off his body and then gift it to his little whore daughter. That has to wait. Not now." When I realized I won't do anything like that, I turned around with a fake smile on my lips. "Hello, Aaron," James said, and I gave him a murderous look, to which he shifted a little from his place and said, "I mean Mr. Woodwords." I smirked and replied with just a nod. Dad smiled at me and then made Lahaina to stand beside me. I looked at her face and I wanted to puke. She was wearing a low-neck, skin-tight dress, her face caked with makeup as she battered her eyelashes to seduce me. "Pleasure meeting you, Lahaina Marshall," I said in between clenched teeth. "Pleasure is all mine," she said in a flirtatious tone and slid her hands around my left arm, pressing her body to mine. "Remember, Aaron, not now. You can't drag them out of this place. Your father won't like it, and moreover you have your company at stake." I looked everywhere except the people in front of me to control my fury, and the person I saw next made a smile form on my lips. There she was, wearing a red dress that fit her perfectly, showing off her curves but not too much, looking heavenly. But she was not alone. Dylan Van Ash walked beside her, and it seemed they know each other quite well. "I know him because of my business. He is definitely good at his work, but his reputation with women is even worse than mine." I wanted to go to her and punch him on his face as he smiled to my Caroline. She was looking around as if searching for someone, and I imagined it to be me. She looked a bit disappointed when she didn't find me, and I smiled more at the thought. "It seems you're enjoying her company, isn't it?" My dad teased, and I refrained myself from giving him a good answer. "Of course we are." Lahaina smiled at me, her fake, made-up smile. I turned around again to look at Caroline. She was staring back at me. Her eyes held shock and hurt, seeing me with her sister when I was the one who asked her to come here. I moved my gaze away, not wanting to see her hurt, because I knew if I looked at her for a few more seconds I'll just leave everything and go and kiss her. "Why don't you go and dance?" James said, looking at me with a smirk. He knew I was bounded and that I'll have to do it as Dad was there too, and I didn't really wanted Dad to get an impression that I won't be signing the deal. "Say no to him," I whispered in Lahaina's ear, her perfume making me choke. "Let's go," she said and smiled at me. "Bitch. Not now, Aaron. Not now." I took her hand in mine and walked us to the dance floor and started to dance. I looked over to Caroline, and she was standing quietly, watching me, as Dylan talked to a group of men. He looked at Caroline and then whispered,